Now on CoastTV News.
Cleaning up the bay as work continues around the Key Bridge collapse site. One of the next big goals is getting the ship that caused it all out of there.
Scary overdose numbers, a disturbing spike in just the last 5 days. 1 death, dozens hospitalized, and Narcan not as effective.
Work ramping up here at the Routes 1 and 16 overpass, the next steps in this big roadwork project.
A remarkable recovery for a local endangered sea turtle. What makes what you're seeing here so critical?
And we have a round of random rain trying to move in our direction. We'll track all that coming up for you.
This is CoastTV News at 11.
Taking shape, Route 1 and 16 overpass making progress outside of Milton. Good evening. I'm Charlie Sakaitis.
And I'm Mallory Metzner. Welcome to our news at 11. We begin tonight with a massive project on one of Delmarva's most well-traveled roadways.
DelDOT is working around the clock to get a new overpass on Route 1 ready to go. The agency says weather has proven to be a little bit of an issue, but they still expect to be done with this project on time.
Coast TV's Charles Reinert shows us why this is only the first step in DelDOT's bigger plans for Route 1.
A look from above at the progress being made at Routes 1 and 16.
To see it actually physically taking shape now is definitely a good sign.
DelDOT is currently building the southbound bridge that will actually take Route 1 over Route 16. Construction crews will be working on this new stretch of road throughout the summer months. DelDOT CR McLeod says the agency is hoping this change will make this dangerous intersection safer.
We've seen numerous crashes over the years from traffic turning from Route 1 to Route 16 and vice versa. So it was really determined to let's remove that intersection and remove that possibility of those crashes.
Safety is the name of the game here, and to make sure that goal is achieved, DelDOT believes that the best move is going up and over.
We're really trying to make Route 1 as much of a limited access highway as possible, and that really means just removing those intersections and crossovers that become increasingly dangerous with higher traffic volumes and higher speeds.
The state is asking people to drive slowly through the construction zone, especially with more cars expected as summertime draws near. This isn't the only overpass project that's in the works in this immediate area, as right down the road at Cave Neck Road and Route 1, DelDOT is also planning to build an overpass there as well, though that one is much further down the road and wouldn't even start construction until this project is done in late 2025. I'm Charles Reinert in Milton, Coast TV News.
Road work has begun in another part of Milton. The town says a contractor will be working in the area of Bay Avenue, along with Union and Willow Streets. The town says road repairs will continue tomorrow. You can call Town Hall with any questions.
We have breaking news tonight as tensions are escalating on the campus of Columbia University in New York City. NYPD officers descending on Columbia University wearing helmets, carrying zip ties just after 9 p.m. and started clearing the encampment.
Pro-Palestinian protesters just outside of the campus were seen being placed in zip ties and taken away. Special police units entered Hamilton Hall using a massive police truck and a ramp entering through a second-floor window.
More than a dozen officers also entered the building from the ground. A group of protesters that took over the campus building early this morning are barricaded inside.
A statement released by Columbia tonight said the university asked the NYPD to intervene. The statement saying in part, quote, "This decision was made to restore safety and order to our community. We regret that protesters have chosen to escalate the situation through their actions. After the university learned overnight that Hamilton Hall had been occupied, vandalized, and blockaded, we were left with no choice."
The statement goes on to say, quote, "The decision to reach out to the NYPD was in response to the actions of the protesters, not the cause they are championing. We have made it clear that the life of campus cannot be endlessly interrupted by protesters who violate the rules and the law," unquote. Authorities say that those barricaded inside Hamilton Hall will be charged with third-degree burglary, criminal mischief, and trespassing.
New tonight, a plan to change how Ocean City Boardwalk business displays are enforced is moving forward. The mayor and city council met earlier today. Every store along the OC Boardwalk has to follow a set of rules that regulate how far out they can put their merchandise and also what type of items can be placed outside for people to see. At the moment, if you get caught violating the rules, you get a verbal warning first, then a written warning, and then a municipal infraction, which comes with a maximum fine of $1,000. The mayor and city council met today and talked about the very first offense becoming a $500 fine, and the second offense would be $1,000.
There's a number of steps, and they're fairly cumbersome. And the other issue regarding that is it has been interpreted that the violation number resets every year. So if the same business could have 2 or 3 violations in season 1, and in season 2 they go back to 0.
The mayor and city council voted to send an ordinance to a first reading. They talked about allowing businesses to still receive a warning before getting fined just for the first year after new rules are eventually passed.
If you're curious about some of the current rules for outdoor displays in the OC Boardwalk area, here are just a couple of the rules that businesses have to follow. According to town code, a copy of the approved plans for outdoor displays must clearly be displayed on site. No merchandise, signs, or other items are allowed to get in the way of the boardwalk right-of-way. Also, displays, they cannot be higher than 5 feet tall, except for items like surfboards, kites, or umbrellas. And this brings us to our Coast TV poll. We want to know, will the new fines actually deter business boardwalk display permit violations?
Let's look at the updated results from earlier tonight. On your screen here, it looks like the majority say no. That's at 62% of the vote right now, Charlie.
Now, just about, 38% there saying yes. If you haven't voted yet, still easy to do. Go to CoastTV.com or use our Coast TV mobile app. New tonight, the details of this next story, you're going to want to listen up. They're a little concerning. State agencies and health professionals are on high alert following what has been deemed unusual overdose cases here in Sussex County. Delaware State Police are reporting that one person is dead, and they've seen multiple medical emergencies in just the past week. In fact, more than 50 overdose patients have been recorded since just April 26th. And here is where it's getting a little strange. These patients required higher doses of Narcan, that's the drug that helps fight off an overdose, than usual. So exactly what is it that they're taking? Well, that's still under investigation. Police have said early findings show that the drug has been packaged the same way that heroin is usually packaged. We have a deeper dive into this story up on our website, CoastTV.com.
Taking a live look outside into Lewis, it was another hot summer-like day along the coast. Let's check in with First Alert Chief Meteorologist Paul Williams, who joins us now with a look at our weather. It might not be as warm tomorrow, Paul.
Well, I think that we're going to hold on to that summer-ish, summer-like kind of feel a little bit for tomorrow, and then definitely for Thursday. Before this weekend, you know, like that old song from, I think it's Frozen, Let It Go. Let it go. It's Mother Nature's just going to let it go. All right, here we go. Irish Eyes camera in Lewis, we're at 70 degrees. Dew point temperature is at 59. Now, we are going to settle into the mid-60s by 3 o'clock with partly cloudy skies. Now, we are looking for a little bit more in the way of moisture, but it's not going to get here immediately. But we do have a little bit of a concern for winds. Over towards Cambridge, Cornersville, Madison, and Bellevue, as well as Avalon, we have an active small craft advisory in effect there, looking for about 20 to 25 mile per hour winds there. But overall, the big concern might be for tomorrow, dealing with the trees and the grass. They're going to be extreme and at high levels for tomorrow. Now, we're going to talk about that chance of a sprinkle or two coming to pay us a visit. Then real rain over the weekend. But for right now, back to you, Charlie.
Thank you, Paul. The judge presiding over Donald Trump's hush money case held the former president in criminal contempt today for violating a gag order. Judge Juan Merchan found that Mr. Trump committed 9 violations of that gag order through a series of posts on Truth Social, attacking witnesses and jurors, as well as offending posts on his campaign website. Mr. Trump is to be fined $1,000 for each violation and has also been ordered to remove the posts. The former president addressed the media after court today, voicing his displeasure about the gag order.
This gag order is not only unique, it's totally unconstitutional. I'm the Republican candidate for President of the United States. I received this honor in record time. Nobody's ever gone faster. It's never happened. Nobody's ever got the numbers that we got.
And perhaps the bigger headline here is that Judge Mershon also warned in his decision that he would not tolerate further violations and even threatened the former president with potential jail.
I'm Madeline Overturf, and here's a look at just some of the things happening across Delmarva. The final stretch of Milford Road work is underway. The city says Northeast Front Street will be repaved overnight. Work should be done May 8th. Crime is down in Cambridge, according to a quarterly report from the police department. Cambridge police say shots fired calls have gone down 40% compared to this same time last year. Serious crimes like assault and robbery are down 23%. Less serious, like destruction of property, are down 19%. A Fenwick Island sea turtle is now on display at the National Aquarium. Pecorino was rescued in 2020 after a boat struck his head. Now on exhibit, it's the first time a sea turtle has been on exhibit since Calypso, an iconic 500-pound green sea turtle, died in 2020. And it's a big deal because Pecorino had a lot of brain damage from that boat strike, so this is a big sign of his recovery, the aquarium says. That's a look at some of the things happening across Delmarva. I'm Madeline Overturf.
It's been 5 weeks since the Key Bridge in Baltimore collapsed. Crews now expect they'll be able to remove the wreckage of the container ship that struck it by early May. That's good news for businesses that rely on the port to transport goods. Right now, 3 shallow channels are open. A 45-foot deep channel is expected to be operational by next Friday, May 10th. Then the main 50-foot deep channel is expected to open by the end of May after a giant hydraulic claw removes pieces of the bridge from the Patapsco River.
In Rehoboth Beach, there is one library located on Rehoboth Avenue. You've probably seen it right there in the heart of the city. But the library has been looking to expand and build a new facility on Warrington Road. In order to do that, the library was looking to rent out half of the space in the current downtown location. But according to its deed, the entire lot is always to be used for library services. And if the library wanted to change that fact, the city could deny it or add new rules. No matter what the future of the library is, one thing is clear: people in Rehoboth Beach, they do like their library.
It's such a good resource for the neighbors in the neighborhood and also the visitors. The opportunity to grab a book on the way into the beach, come in on a rainy day.
The library is currently in the process of purchasing the land for that second location on Warrington Road, but it doesn't have a settlement date yet. We have a lot more to get to this evening.
Still to come, messing with the wrong bison? A man in Yellowstone National Park makes a terrible decision, immediately regrets it.
Schedule change. The Biden administration wants to reclassify marijuana. We'll explain what the current laws are and why this is considered such a big step.
And more of the 80s are on the way. I'll explain what I mean by that in just a moment. We'll be back in just 60 seconds.
Washington, D.C. is a mess.
There's no common ground.
The left, the right, they're just shouting all the time, and no one's listening.
What a mess.
But now who is going to clean it up?
Republicans and Democrats are arguing all the time, and nothing gets done.
And it shouldn't be this way.
It doesn't have to be this way. Enough is enough. And it's why I'm running for the U.S. Senate, to be a voice of common sense. I'm Larry Hogan. I approve this message because it's time we stop the partisan BS and get stuff done.
At Coastal Comfort, we know there's no place like home. That's why we're committed to ensuring total comfort for a totally happy home. As a premier Carrier Factory authorized dealer, we're dedicated to providing reliable service and the best savings. Like now, through the end of May, with purchase of a qualified Carrier system, you can instantly receive up to $1,900 off. You could also qualify for up to $2,000 in federal tax credit. Coastal Comfort, a Carrier Factory authorized dealer serving Maryland and Delaware. Carrier, turn to the experts.
We've been actually the recipient of unusually warm weather for the last couple of days. Looks like we're going to stay in that groove for at least maybe 2 more days. But after that, particularly for the weekend, and I know you may not want to hear this, but over the weekend, we're going to not only come back to Earth, but we're going to go underground with our temperatures, if you know what I mean. I'll explain what I mean in a moment, okay? Our Gateway Subaru camera in Ocean City with the bright lights shining in the background there. We're holding at about 60 degrees right now. And really, forecast-wise, we're supposed to stay well into the 60s. Now, as far as Seaford is concerned, we're at 72 degrees at this present time, and we'll have temperatures that will stay in the 60s for us right now where we stand. We're at 69 degrees in Milton, 69 in Georgetown, but we're holding at 70 degrees even in Seaford, Bethany Beach, Rehoboth Beach, as well as Lewis Beach. We're clear right now. This is just a little bit of, think of an old-fashioned TV set, and it's just a little bit of static. That's all this is right here. Now, we do have the small craft advisory that's active over towards Hudson, as well as Taylor's Island. Now, that's because we're watching out for about 20 to 25 mile per hour winds there. And we start to see this little bit of rain that's beginning to affect the folks in Washington, D.C., Baltimore, and all that. And it's accompanying the movement of a trough. This is the trough that's helped to trigger that. Now, troughs, like we had said before, sometimes they help to trigger some scattered showers. This is just doing a little bit, but it's not doing a whole lot. It's just doing a little bit, and we're going to catch maybe a random sprinkle early in the morning, but it's not going to be an all-day situation. 84, the high for today. 71 is the norm. Where actually 90 was the record set in 1979. We had a high of 84 in Georgetown and in Salisbury, and the high today was 81 degrees in Ocean City. So let's break down our expectations for Wednesday. Start off cloudy and a few sprinkles. When I say sprinkles, I'm talking about in and out real quick, okay? Might not even be enough for us to measure, to be quite honest. 60s. We go to the 70s in the areas cooler along the shore. Winds out of the south. Thursday, we are a little bit warmer. We start off near 60 and we go to the 80s by the afternoon. So Wednesday, we're going to go to the 70s. Thursday, we're going to go to the 80s. Same holds true for us from Ocean Pines down towards Chincoteague. Start off in the 60s on a Wednesday, into the 70s for Wednesday afternoon. Thursday, we start off near 60 in the morning time. Then we flip that over to the mid-80s by the afternoon, and the wind's continuing to feather its way out of the south as a result of that flow that's actually helping us to build back to that surge of warm air. So with our 3-day beach forecast, thing to keep in mind is that we're avoiding any significant cold air or rain till we get to maybe like Friday going into Saturday, particularly for South Bethany and Ocean City. Now, that's not going to necessarily be the case for us in Cape Henlopen. We're going to at least peak into the 70s pretty quickly. Here's a look at your Paul Davis Restoration and Home Remodeling extended forecast. Bottom line is we're going from 79, which is near 80 on Wednesday, to 87 on Thursday. Then after that, our warming trend and our wonderful soiree into summer-like weather comes to an end because we're going to go to 62, then 60, and it's going to be raining by the time we get to 60 on Saturday.
Thank you, Paul. In pot news, sources say the Justice Department will move to loosen federal restrictions on marijuana. Right now, pot is considered a Schedule I drug alongside things like heroin and LSD, classified as having no medical use and a high potential for abuse. Now, the Justice Department reportedly wants to move it to Schedule III. That's more in line with things like Tylenol, codeine, or even anabolic steroids. Those substances are considered to have moderate to low potential for dependence. Now, once the DOJ makes the recommendation, it's going to take months to take effect, and there will be a public comment period.
New in Ocean Pines, the Public Works Department has announced extended hours for yard debris drop-off. Starting tomorrow, the Public Works yard will be open Monday through Saturday from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. That runs through June 1st. The town says this extended schedule aims to make access to services more convenient for homeowners. If you want to drop off anything at the Public Works yard, you have to stop by the department building on Firehouse Lane to obtain a sticker. The stickers given out help the town control who's using the facility while allowing homeowners to take advantage of the disposal services. Coming up next, robbing grandma and grandpa? Elder fraud, it's on the rise. What the numbers say and what the FBI is trying to do to put an end to it.
Invest in your home with new furniture from Johnny Janosic. Get Delaware's guaranteed lowest prices, plus 0% APR financing for 36 months with no down payment and no minimum purchase. Shop Johnny Janosic today.
There are too many areas in Maryland elected officials seem to have a hard time finding. Not David Trone. His family came from Cambridge, right by the Choptank River that he used to fish in as a boy. If you're going to stand up for people who too often feel ignored and left out, you have to show up. David has. From Eastern Shore to Mountain, Maryland and back, every Marylander deserves a voice, and David intends to carry yours all the way to the U.S. Senate.
I'm David Trone, and I approve this message.
Our soldiers are heroes who protect our country. But when they come home, it's up to us to help our heroes. Now, during FH First Spring Into Giving campaign, for every $29 cooling system tune-up we perform, we'll donate that amount directly to Wounded Warrior Project. FH Fur Plumbing, Heating, Air Conditioning, and Electrical. Call 877-CALL-FUR or visit FHFur.com to schedule your $29 cooling system tune-up. And use hashtag SpringIntoGiving to share how you're giving back.
Spring is fading fast. No more waiting. It's time to get the deck of your dreams started. Paul Davis will design, build, or resurface any size deck with the highest quality materials.
Our AZAC decks are scratch, fade, and insect resistant with a lifetime warranty. We'll bring the showroom to you, provide you same-day estimates, handle permitting, and guide you through the HOA approvals.
Save big. Enjoy 20% off, plus snag an outdoor double swing chair free when you invest in your new deck now through May 31st. Call Paul Davis for a free estimate.
Let Johnny Janosic help make your outdoor space more relaxing and enjoyable. Shop now and find huge savings on all outdoor furniture and accessories. Plus, take advantage of our great financing options. For a limited time only at Johnny Janosic.
Delmarva's Classic Rock. Big 107.7.
This is Coast TV News at 11.
It's no secret that we have an older population down here along the coast, and with that in mind, pay attention to this next story because the number of older Americans who are victims of fraud, it's on the rise. Americans over the age of 60 had roughly $3.5 billion stolen in fraudulent schemes just last year. That's an 11% hike from 2022, according to the FBI's Elder Fraud Report. Federal officials say some of the scams used were people pretending to provide tech support for non-existent data breaches, investments, or identity theft. To combat these scams, the FBI has set up a recovery asset team which can help freeze funds.
Here's a story from the Just Don't Do This category. A man is accused of harassing a herd of bison and kicking one of the animals in the leg at Yellowstone National Park. Park officials identified the man as 40-year-old Clarence Yoder of Idaho. There were some immediate repercussions as Yoder was reportedly hurt in the encounter after he approached the bison too closely. He was taken to a hospital with minor injuries, then arrested on alcohol-related crimes, disturbing wildlife, and other charges. Yoder could face fines and 6 months in jail. He has pleaded not guilty.
Now for a story that involves the Supreme Court and a ruling, the state of Texas, and pornography. The Supreme Court is allowing Texas to enforce age verification requirements for porn sites. Tuesday, it rejected a request from the adult entertainment industry to block the requirement on First Amendment grounds. Texas state law requests any website that publishes a substantial amount of content censored, harmful to minors to verify the age of the user. Now, lawyers for the trade group challenging the law said that the law violates access to free speech online because it forces adults to identify themselves before accessing pornography. The group filed an appeal at the Supreme Court and then asked the court to block the law while that appeal is considered. The underlying appeal is still pending. Coming up in sports, shake off the signs from the catcher. We're going with the fastball. Our DSN crew breaking down a bit of henlopen baseball.
And expanding the age range for breast cancer screenings. Who doctors say needs to be getting screened and how often.
Speaking of how often do you get perfect golf weather several days in a row? Well, we're on a stretch. We're on a streak here. And, we're talking partly cloudy skies at 79 degrees. Excellent conditions for us. So, we're on a heater. I know we're not necessarily gambling, but we're on a heater here, and it's looking good.
We're Coast Country, and we're Delmarva proud.
Don't miss the Tempur-Pedic closeout event at Johnny Janosik's Mattress World. Shop now and save up to 50% on floor sample closeouts from Tempur-Pedic. Plus, get a free gift for a limited time only at Johnny Janosik's Mattress World.
On Coast Life, admire classic and future British cars at the Lewis British Motor Car Show. Then, we debate the modern dating dilemma. Is it okay to ask for a refund after a bad date? Tomorrow at 4 on Coast TV.
For 30 years, I've been fighting for Maryland.
The man with the guts to stand up to Biden, Robin Ficker.
Biden's let 7.2 million illegals into our country. That's more than all of Maryland. I'll stand with President Trump to secure the border, declare war on the cartels, and ban welfare for illegals.
Veteran, conservative fighter, Robin Ficker for Senate.
I'm Robin Ficker, and I approve this message.
Life. Just when you think you've got it made, you've got another thing coming. To which we say, bring it on. Your heart needs a hand? We've got hands committed to saving hundreds of hearts each year. You're facing a storm? Hey, storm, is that all you got? Because we've got more. More ways to help, to provide hope, with a commitment to your health that runs deep.
After numerous successful shower renovations, we've heard your feedback loud and clear. You're craving more than just a shower. You desire a complete bathroom transformation from Baths by Spicer Brothers. We're reimagining your entire space, from digital design to meticulous craftsmanship. Every aspect will be customized to fit your unique style and needs. And right now, save up to 20% off your new project, plus no payments and no interest until 2026. Don't settle for less. Call Baths by Spicer Brothers today because you deserve the best.
Get the Coast TV First Alert Weather app. With live satellite and radar, severe weather alerts, and extended forecast. Download the free Coast TV First Alert Weather app. Sponsored by Paul Davis Restoration and Home Remodeling.
Don't miss the Beauty Rest Black closeout event at Johnny Janosik's Mattress World. Shop now and save up to 50% on Beauty Rest Black floor sample closeouts. Plus, get a free gift for a limited time only at Johnny Janosik's Mattress World.
Tomorrow marks the first day of May and the first day of an annual food drive. The Kiwanis Club of Greater Ocean Pines, Ocean City, is helping feed the people at the Diakoni Homeless and Housing Shelter in West Ocean City. You can drop off non-expired, non-perishable goods at the Ocean Pines Community Center parking lot every Wednesday morning this month from 9 a.m. to noon. New recommendations for breast cancer screenings are out today, reinforcing that early detection can help reduce the risk of dying from the disease.
In tonight's Health Minute, Mandy Gaither has more on when women are now advised to get a mammogram and what cancer experts have to say about it.
New recommendations published in the medical journal JAMA lower the recommended age for regular breast cancer screenings, calling for those at average risk who were assigned female at birth to get a mammogram every other year starting at 40 years old instead of 50, and recommend this through age 74.
The Preventive Services Task Force hasn't recommended that women in their 40s get regular mammograms since 2002. And so I think this is a very positive change.
That task force is an independent volunteer panel of medical experts. Their recommendations influence insurance coverage and doctors who schedule screenings for patients. The new guidelines are more consistent with the ones set out by the American Cancer Society, but the organization says the new guidelines should also include women over the age of 74, especially those expecting to live for another 10 or more years.
In our judgment, it is with shame if women get the message that mammography has uncertain benefits or is no longer needed at a time when the incidence is very high and the death rate continues to climb.
The American Cancer Society guidelines also differ on how often a person should be screened, suggesting women of average risk who are between the ages of 40 and 44 had the option to get a mammogram every year, and those 45 to 54 should start annual screenings. The organization advises women 55 and older to get a mammogram every other year or opt for yearly screenings.
Women should do their very, very best to be screened regularly at whatever interval they choose, whether it's 12 months or 24 months.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Delmarva Sports Network from the Wawa Studios.
To the Diamond we go for some Henlopen baseball. Indian River and Delmar, the Wildcats, going for their 4th straight win. We start bottom 4, 2-0 IR. Ricky Wiggins provides some much-needed breathing room. A 2-run single into the outfield extends the lead. It is 4-0 Indian River. But remember, the Cats always have 9 lives. To the 7th we go. 6-3 IR leads. Wildcats have the bases juiced. Down to their last strike, Ryder Keidel back up the middle. 2 runs come across. It's a 1-run game. Runners on first and second now. Blair Davis, a chance to tie for Delmar. Lifts it into left center field, and it is down for a hit. Tying run comes in to score. Keidel rounding third. He would stop for a moment, but then when the throw's offline, he comes home and he's safe. Wildcats were once down 5. They now lead. Bottom half, Delmar up by 1 with an excited dugout behind them. Tying run for IR at second base. 2 down in the inning. Colby Pete on the mound. Locks down an improbable win. The swinging K to put it away. What a finish. Wildcats come all the way back to win 7-6 and take their 4th straight game with the comeback win. Delmar improves to another victory this season. They'll try and keep it rolling as it winds down. That'll do it for sports. Have a great night, everyone.
The UV Index Weather Report is sponsored by Ocean City Tourism. Somewhere to smile about.
Storm season is here. Be prepared and follow these tips from Delaware Electric Cooperative. Make sure you and your family have a safe place to go in the event of a tornado or severe storm. Have an emergency kit stocked with enough food, water, and essentials for at least 3 days. And don't forget a flashlight, batteries, and weather radio. Finally, download the DEC Connect app on your mobile device to quickly report an outage. Weather can be unpredictable, but you can be prepared. Make sure you're ready when storms strike.
Are you dreaming of the perfect outdoor space where you can relax and entertain? Look no further than Delmarva's most trusted partner, Spicer Brothers. We pride ourselves on superior craftsmanship and only use the finest materials to create beautiful, durable decks. From classic wooden decks to low-maintenance PVC materials, we have the perfect solution for you. And right now, get a free Green Mountain Grill with your new deck. Plus, enjoy 0% financing with no payments and no interest for 18 months. Spicer Brothers, turning homeowners' dreams into reality for over 20 years.
Whether it's a natural disaster or just everyday life's mishaps, in disaster's wake, there's only one call to make, Royal Plus. Find us at royalplus.com. We bring calm to the chaos.
Are you ready to advance in your career and work for a company that you can count on? Count on AMIC to offer weekly pay and work schedules that fit your lifestyle. Matched 401k to prepare for retirement. Even earn paid vacation. Count on AMIC to offer on-site health care to save you time and money. That's right, access to a doctor's office while at work at no out-of-pocket costs. Are you the next one to join our team? Visit countonamic.com to apply today.
Upgrade your roof. Whether it's metal roofing or shingles, Alpha Roofing and Siding is the pinnacle of protection and style, using premium materials that withholds any harsh conditions that are covered by a 50-year material warranty. Get free gutter guards with your new roof and 12 months no interest. Ask us how to save 30% with the federal tax credit on solar skylights. Call today for more details. Alpha Roofing and Siding, where protection comes first and setting the standard is our legacy.
Right now, our Spicer Brothers camera in Salisbury indicating, hey, we're going to stay in the 60s for tonight. Now, our umbrella winner for tonight actually is from Millsboro, Rose Fox. Congratulations, courtesy of Paul Davis Restoration and Home Remodeling. Ocean City sponsoring our UV Index report for today. And we're going to be at a level of 8 on Wednesday as well as Thursday, so you're going to burn very easily. Now, remember, we're at the bottom of the very high category, so you can burn very easily. We're not at extreme, but you need to take it seriously, okay? So that means be sure you do all these things. Limit the outdoors and be sure you wear the sunblock. Now, you can call our weather line at 443-880-9100. Your forecast is just a call away. Sponsored by Birdman, Dallas, Bruckstedt, and Federico. And finally, here's a look at your Paul Davis Restoration and Home Remodeling extended forecast. We're okay Wednesday, great on Thursday, and not so great on weekend.
Thank you, Paul, and thank you for watching Coast TV News at 11. For more news, more local weather, download our Coast TV News app.
The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon is up next. We'll see you tomorrow for Coast TV News at 5 a.m. Have a great night.